Hi YouTube, this is Joe Calton with Calton Cutlery. You can find us on the web, caltoncutlery.com. Okay, so we ran out of tape on the last one, but we were just able to get uh, the third, the second to the lowest temperature that I forge welded the four blades um, destroyed. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep the fourth one, slap a handle on it, make a sheath for it, and carry it around for a month or two and see how it works. Just for normal everyday cutting tasks and everything. But I wanted to go ahead and shoot an update for it, and maybe we'll get a little bit closer look at the brakes on the four that we tested. We'll start off with the one that was forge welded really hot, and it looks like it did really well. There was hardly any indication of weld failures. There are places where the weld was torn apart. Um, I would put that down to, on this blade here and on the third one, I would put that down to the different mechanical properties of mild steel versus hardened 1095. It would stand to reason that they would break at different points, different amounts of stress. But you can see the breaks in there were really good, but this blade didn't cut very well. So welding at that temperature, from what, just the temperature that I remember, I don't have from the color, is too hot. The next one, which was welded at a bright yellow, you can kind of see here places where the mild broke at a much different rate than the 1095. But there's no, the splits don't carry on down the spine. So I would call that one fairly good. The next one, you can see even more of an indication of that. Let's see, how'd that go together like this? But you can see everything inside that shear line there is nice and bright and shiny, and you can see indications where the two steels were one but then got ripped apart. But you can see on this one where some of that delamination carried through to the rest of the blade. That could be that particular heat range on that one, or it could be the fact that heck, maybe I made a bad weld. You never know. I mean, that there was the third blade that I ever welded together using this method. Now this one, the one that was, I would call it a very bright orange. It did the best. I mean, you can see the edges of that brake are just mangled. Of course, we did put quite a bit of stress on these. And the grain inside where the 1095 is, it looks real nice. And this blade cut pretty good. And it took quite a bit of flex. If I remember right, this one, I'd have to go back and look at the video, but I want to say this one made it at least to 90 and maybe a little bit more on the flex test like this. And I want to say it made it to almost 90 in the twisting test, which is quite a bit of stress on a blade. But what I did notice was that, like say on this one, now this one's the one I'm going to keep, and it was the thinner of the ones. But that mild steel on the outside of the 1095, it sure seems to be acting like a, I don't know the term to describe it. it does seem to act to support the 1095 core, but it also seems to deaden it a little bit. So like, a regular 1095 blade like this, you could flex it and then it would return to true. Whereas this is flexing and then staying flexed. It's fairly easy to straighten it back out, and the amount of strength that it has is quite a bit less than, just a standard 1095 blade of this thickness. So I think what this design will probably end up being, if I keep working with it, is the blades will have to be either a little bit thicker overall thickness, or less of the mild steel on each side, or I don't even know what kind of mild steel this is. This is just just mild steel from Home Depot. So trying this with a known 1018 or 1030, I think they have that out there. That might do quite a bit better. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put a handle on this one and make a sheath for it, carry it around for month or two, or till I get bored with it, and see what my thoughts are. How much strength it has. After a couple of weeks, I might decide it needs about 20% more strength, and then try to shoot for that. I might order up some known mild steel in different grades and play with those. But anyway, it's been a pretty interesting test, and I figured I'd share it with y'all, since everybody likes to see knives getting beat up and broken and ripped apart. And it was a good time. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.